Apple. Right now, Apple has all these beautiful level that we're really touching, right? So this is our trend, and right now we got this beautiful channel, right? So every time we get back, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Well, this is your boy Francis. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. If this is your first time, you're welcome to this channel, and to the OGs, you are always and highly welcome. Well, what are we gonna be doing today? We're gonna be talking about stocks as usual, right? So last week I did talk about so many stocks, and I did analyze them here in anticipation of this week, and we also got some action this week, right? So with that being said, this is not a recommendation to buy or to sell any stock or equity. This is for entertainment purposes only. Now that we got that out of the way, I did pick some stocks up this week as well. I added to my positions, and as well as I also picked some new trades, and I will show you those trades that I picked up here in a little bit. Also the market, we talk about the market, we talk about inflation, we talk about debt ceiling, right? So pretty much we're not going into default anymore, and now we just need the president to sign it into law. So now the debt ceiling is behind us, and that also helped the market to close in the green position. Most of the sectors were green actually. So looking at semiconductor in the technology side, you see that we got red and red and red and red, right? The only reason why in the communication side or the telecom services side, it was because of news about Amazon and T-Mobile and stuff like that. So that's the reason why we dropped. Like I said, I'm going to talk about my position. So because of this drop, I picked some Verizon up around the $33 and 98 cents or something like that, in anticipation of the bounce to the upside. So I'm gonna be holding this for a long term. I've been trying to see if this can really break, and we broke out, and guess what? This news gave me an opportunity to get into this trade. T-Mos as well, T-Mobile, I got into around the 129 or something, 129, 128, 129-ish area, because of this spot right here. Looking at this spot in terms of support, so I got in, and then we got some move there to the upside. With that being said, guys, those were the ones I added today. I also added to some other position that I will talk about later on. Now let's talk about SPY. SPY at this point in time, we are actually not extended based on RSI, right? We're at 66%. So right now I'm looking for price to really reject that 430 properly, and then we can retest 425. If 425 doesn't hold, then I'll be expecting a pull back into 420. Right now we've actually cleared this resistance zone of 416, 418 zone. So that is a beautiful looking pattern. Overall, I still have my support at 420. So 420 is my next support if 425 doesn't hold. And if price decide to move up, guess what? 430, that's gonna be that spot. Now let's talk about IWM as well. IWM is Russell 2000. Okay, so this one as well, we're looking good, we're looking solid, right, in terms of price momentum. So well, on this Russell 2000, I'm expecting price to continue to push right through 183-ish. Okay, if price does push through, then we can continue to push to move to the upside. But Overall, we created this gap, and 200 moving average is just right there around 179. So look for 180 as support if market decide to pull lower. Also looking at a QQQ. QQQ at this point we're still pushing and pushing to the upside. Right now 355 is our spot of resistance. Okay, on the RSI side we're at 76%, and which is in the overbought zone as well. So I'll be looking for some form of a pullback in the coming week. Now talking about oil and gas, right? Right now I have a Transocean ROIG. This is the level I'm watching right now on this name. So we're really looking good to push to the upside, to continuously push to the upside and retest the $7.75 $8 zone. So if that happened, then we should be all right. But overall our support is right around the $6 on this name. INTC, they really haven't played the AI game so far on INTC, so I'll be expecting some form of news relative to AI. So right now we're looking at extension, and I don't mind if this pull back to $30 to retest that breakout zone. If it does, then I'll be picking some up to the upside on that name. Palantir as well. Palantir did good, and we've been pushing to the upside ever since, for pretty much about a month now. And right now we're finding problems right around $15, because guess what, we are also in the overbought zone, as our RSI is 82%. And guess what, remember I talked about it last week, you never know how long and how far you can go on the overbought zone, and we just kept moving to the upside there on Palantir. Another name to keep an eye out on is LELHELE. Right now we're looking at 103 is the next spot if we can really break $100. Also Papa John's as well, we've actually pushed lower to a spot where we'll be expecting what I call the BB play, which is the bottom bounce play. So we'll be expecting some form of a bottom bounce play off of this zone back into $75. That is where I'll be looking at. Also we talk about this is the children's place, and this children's place I picked some up below $15 in anticipation of 1750 visit, right? So I'll be holding this to see how far we can go, and if price can push back into the $20, I think I'll be good on that name. Tesla, well, this is a non-stop action right now. 220 is the spot. Okay, if price cannot sustain or push right beyond let's say, but if we cannot push beyond 215 again, then I'll be looking for price action back down to 210 or even 205 as a form of support. But overall I'll be looking at 215 220 as a form of resistance on Tesla. Apple, right now Apple has all these beautiful level that we're really touching, right? So this is our trend, and right now we got this beautiful channel, right? So every time we get back into that 20 exponential moving average, we bounce right up off that zone, right? So right now we're back in that resistance spot. So the next spot is going to be looking for price back into that trend, right, as we continue our uptrend to the upside. So keep an eye out on that. Another small name is Clove as well. Clove I added to some of my position. I got some around the $75 spot, then added in anticipation of this break, but we couldn't break. So now my average got back into the 80 cents or so. So I'll be looking for more to push to the upside. So keep an eye out on Clove. Also COST cost as well. This was an earnings move. They didn't do really too well, but guess what, it got bought back up into 520 spot. Okay, that's where we visited as out of Friday close, or as out of Friday trade. So I'll be looking for price back into 510 or 505 to revisit this breakout spot. So keep an eye out on that name as well. Also, another beautiful looking chart from bottom bounce play is NBR. This is Numbers Industry, so we'll be looking for more to the upside. Look for $100 as our next resistance. If it does hold, then we can retest 93.94. But if it continues, then we'll be looking at 104 or 109, which as well WISH right now we're looking at a bounce right around $7, $6.97. That is $7. So we'll be looking at a bounce of this area back into $7.60 or $8. So keep an eye out on that name. PD as well. Cathy Wood actually picked up some on PagerDuty. So I actually didn't see the action to the downside, otherwise I would have picked some up as well. 22.30, that's gonna be our support. If that fails, then we'll be looking at 20.30 or 20.50, around that area as a support. But for now, I'll be looking for price to reverse back into 24 or 25 in the coming days. Nvidia as well. Nvidia, it is extended, of course, but right now we're forming this beautiful beautiful flag with this gap to watch. So keep an eye out. If we fail 390, 380, and then guess what, we'll be looking at price back into 360 or 350. So keep an eye out on that. Also looking at Meta, right? Meta right now, the same momentum on Meta. Technology just to the upside. Another name, very small, to keep an eye out is BYND. This is the fake meat, right? So right now we're looking at price holding $10 per share, right, inching right into this downtrend. So we're looking for this downtrend slash, trend line break, and then right into 1125. 1125 does hold, or 1150, then we can continue to push right into $12.75 or even $13. So keep an eye out on that. PI as well, I took some of my position out of this trade because we've actually filled this gap that we created. This candle pretty much recovered that, filled the gap, and right now momentum should continue on this name, but we're really gone too far right from where we're coming from. So I'll be looking for another retest of the $100 zone, and then we can grab some and then push to the upside. Also OSTK as well, I'll be looking for more action on this name as we break this $20 spot, which coincide with our downtrend. So keep an eye out on OSTK as well. Also looking at BOH, this is Bank of Hawaii, and right now we're breaking downtrend with room right into 45.39, 45.50 in the coming days. So keep an eye out on that name. Also I did talk about picking up the children's place, so we're good on that. I picked some up on there. Alter as well, innings missed. Pretty much we're looking at 440. that is that spot right now. We really held the 405 400-ish area and bounced right into closing 422.40. So I'll be looking for more action right into 440 or 438 area, so keep an eye out on that. United Airlines as well, I'll be looking for more to the upside as we break $49.50. I think we'll continue to push right into $54 or $55 on that name. American Airlines Group as well, looking at $15 break, $15.50. If that breaks, then we'll continue to push to the upside. But overall, if we reject this trend, we'll be looking at price back into the 200 moving average for our needed support. AI as well, C3 right now. C3 need to hold the $32 zone. If it does hold that 32, then we can continue to bounce back into 45 on that name. I do like the stock for more to the upside. CVNA as well, we've just been breaking resistance here. Right now we actually worked the 200 moving average and just pushed right through it, only to reject $17 spot, right? So I'll be looking for a retest of the $13.50 or $14, and then we'll continue to push to the upside. PATH, this is also Cathy Wood's trade. Right now we are actually beyond level of expectation. All right, so we broke off of this resistance, and guess what, rejected $19.50, $20, only to pull back and see if we can retest and hold this $18 zone, and then we'll continue to push to the upside. Also, let me give one more. BIIB. Right now, BIIB, we actually broke out of this trend, this resistance, right, and then push right into the upside. Now we're retesting this resistance zone, which is now support, right, and we're also supporting right at the 50 exponential moving average, finding problems right around the 20. So I think this area is just going to be the accumulation zone where the big boy is going to be accumulating this with 48% on the RSI. Guys, the remaining chart, I'm going to post them up on my stock tweet and on my Twitter account. Just keep an eye out and have a fantastic weekend, guys. Peace and love. Bye bye.